Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be discussing the Facebook ad apocalypse and how we can manage it in quick and easy ways. Let's go. Hey, and welcome to today's video on the Facebook ad apocalypse and how to manage it in 2019 and beyond. For those who don't know me, my name is Ricky Hayes. I've been a YouTuber now for over a year with over 150 videos. I recommend to go and check them out on various things. Don't forget to subscribe, like today's video, and comment down below. Crush it to go in the chance to win one of two 15-minute coaching calls with myself, Ricky Hayes. So let's just jump straight into it. So there's a few points that I've just put here that I wanted to discuss with you. And this is more an informational video, but they're really important. So I'm going to give a bit of a context to all of these and why I actually decided to make this video. So what's been happening the last month for me is one of my stores has been performing extremely poorly. In terms of where it should be, you know, it's hit up to 5+ K days, all the way down to like $400-500 days, and we're sitting in around the 2 to 3K a day mark now. Mainly just break even at the moment because Facebook has just been an absolute pain. So let me explain what's actually happened in the last month. So I had the ad account and it was doing really well. You know, I had everything set up with cold traffic, interest targeting, LLAs, found some really good LLAs like 6 to 10%. This is just in the United States. 6 to 10% view content LLA was crushing it. Sequential remarketing, dynamic product ads, so on and so forth. Now, what had happened was we changed our store name. We changed the store name just due to a bit of a confliction, so we decided to change it. And it was around this point that I made a dynamic product ad. And what actually happened was I changed the URL from the default one to the new one, just so it was accurate. For some reason, Facebook did not like that at all. Didn't like that, and instantly disapproved the ad. And within a couple of minutes, it instantly suspended the ad account. And that was like, oh my God. And when that happens, like your ads get turned off, you can turn them back on, but they're potentially not going to have that same momentum as well as the same outcome. Okay, they can get very, very different results. And obviously it's time, because then you have to contact Facebook. You put an appeal, and it can be 24 to 48 hours or something. Anyway, and what happened was after 24 hours, they re-enabled it. I'm like, sweet, okay, let's get back into this. And what I decided to do was to eliminate that ad. I just paused it. I'm like, no, okay, won't run it, so I don't potentially. But then it got suspended again. And I looked at all my ads. There was none that were disapproved. The one that was disapproved originally was still off, so I had no idea. And anyway, long story short, went to another appeal again and again and again, and it went in this never-ending spiral. And I kid you not, never-ending spiral of an ad account that was doing really well with an average of about 3 ROAS, just drifted down as a result. Because what would happen is when you have a locked, suspended ad account, they will re-enable it at any time during the day. So you can't control that. You can't control it. So they could unlock it at 11 o'clock in your ad account time, and it'll start spending, and it could just spend ridiculous. And the only way around that is you actually have to make an automated rule that says as soon as something spends 1 cent, turn it off, because you have no idea when they're going to turn it on. It's the only way to mitigate that risk, which is just absurd. Anyway, and I would speak to their Facebook support, and their support was just beyond a joke, useless. Facebook support, you do not want to have to ever get assistance from. They're absolutely useless. Okay, and I'll be going into that in a moment, but they're absolutely useless support. All they say is that we can put a ticket in for you, and that's it. And then their bot would, go through the appeal, and it would appeal it and approve it. So what they're saying is that they're approving it, so the bot's saying it's fine there. But then they have another bot that obviously to manage the hundreds of thousands of ad accounts to millions of ad accounts across the Facebook platform for marketers. They have a bot, which makes sense. But the bot would maliciously check the account, suspend it, and then another bot would unsuspend it. And you can see here that it creates this never-ending paradox, never-ending spiral of suspended, unsuspended. So what are you supposed to do? Okay, so what I did was I made new ad accounts, and I subsequently went through this exact issue with a total of 4 ad accounts. 4. And I tried troubleshooting multiple things. I would ask their support what the problem here is, and they would be like, oh, we're not sure, or we can put it in. And they would submit this information, and all I would get back is that, oh, we've approved your appeal. That's it. I wouldn't get any context. I made whole new ads. It was just an image ad in this instance, with new links to make sure that there were no redirects at this point at all. I didn't do a dynamic product ad just to eliminate that. Still suspended. And then there was even more inconsistent to that was also that Facebook would re-enable it, and then for like 2-3 days it would be fine. Sometimes it was like 10 minutes, sometimes it was 2-3 days. And it would be instigated by, if I'm, trying to make a CBO campaign of my best ad sets, right? And I would then do it, and then it would just somehow instigate the bot, and it would suspend it. And then other times, it just did it on its own accord without anything at all. And completely crushing and paralyzing the business, like just completely paralyzing it. And as a result, May 2019 has been an unprofitable month for that store, and it's been an absolute pain in the ass because I had so much intention and so much opportunity, and it's being absolutely demolished by things out of my control. I then went to the degree as well, to give you a bit of a story, of actually emailing a rep, and the rep actually responded rather than the customer service in the Facebook Live support, which, as I said, was useless, but he was just as useless. Okay, after a total of 10 days of giving all the information, I was properly pissed, and I was using curse words because it was just absolutely pathetic. That he, submitted it, and he just kept saying, the political talk that you inevitably get from large enterprises about just, trying to handle shitty customers like myself. And, we're all there. We're e-commerce business owners. We know what it's like. But I'm a pretty rational person, and I know how to troubleshoot things. And this was completely their problem. I just know it's 100% their problem, how are you meant to fix something if you don't know what's wrong? And because the issues across ad accounts were all different, I couldn't find something consistent, a silver lining to be able to say, all right, this is the problem. Okay, it's not like troubleshooting your website on how you can do it. You have that control, whereas this is completely up to the discretion of Facebook. After 10 days, he got back to me, and it literally was a template response. We've unlocked your account. And you know what happened? A couple of hours later, it got suspended. That's what happened. That is exactly what happened. Moral of this entire story is not to say to give up. It's not to say don't stop. It's to say that you have to take things in your own control, okay, and do what you can within your control. And so you need to make multiple ad accounts. I would recommend everyone in a new business manager, after you spend $500,000, make another at least 1 or 2 to 3 ad accounts. Just call them backup 1, backup 2, backup 3. Just have them sitting there, okay? Because what happens when your ad account gets suspended? All the audiences get locked as well. So like all your audiences get locked. You can't turn off your campaigns. You can't do a thing. They restrict it all. It is catastrophic. And no one should have to go through that. It is pathetic. And it was just actually last night, there's another YouTuber, I've forgotten his name. He made a video where he's gone through a very similar thing. And he was saying that other students and people that have contacted him have said they've had this very similar thing. And I just did a post in my group, and a few people have messaged me saying they've gone through the same thing. What that says is that Facebook is making changes to their bot, and it is inevitably causing issues, which is what happens when you make change. I respect that. But it's the support that is the real problem here. I don't mind if I'm potentially encountering issues of a system when it's changing. That's inevitable. That's life. You get used to it. What I don't like is having pathetic support. And that leads me to this. I'll link this below, this article here, which I just found on my feed, and I had a read, and I thought, yeah, this is really interesting. So last November, 3 days before Black Friday, Facebook Ad Manager suffered an outage that left many advertisers unable to access blah, 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 blah. Many of us would know that. And for me, in fact, that actually crippled me to the point of being able to hit 100K a day. Otherwise, would have hit that. But Facebook had that issue. And they didn't issue refunds. They didn't do really anything. Okay. And, they got heaps of complaints, but they didn't really give any refunds to people. They're just like, yeah, we'll take your money, but we're not going to give a crap about you. And since the large outage last year before Black Friday, Facebook as a platform has performance swings on a daily basis. Okay, that's the key point to take home here. Facebook is now not consistent. Okay, and how do you mitigate that consistency? Ad accounts. You need backup Facebook accounts, like let's say your partner, your parents, someone, a close friend. Give them access. Okay, they're never going to look at it. But if worst comes to worst, and let's say your actual Facebook account gets better, you can jump on theirs and make another one or something like that. But I would highly recommend trying to make another Facebook account. I know there's identity verifications, but there's little tips and tricks around that so that you can handle this. This is what I do. And it's really important that I do this. I've never had to actually go to that degree, but it's within my control. I'm going to do it, especially seeing of what's happened to me in the last month. It's cost me thousands of dollars, and it's ridiculous, and it's been doing my head in. I have a fantastic product to a great audience that can be scaled, but I'm completely paralyzed by things out of my control. There's nothing more frustrating than that. Sorry, I should say. Okay, and going on, you can read this article. I'll link it in the Google Doc. But the part that I wanted to discuss here is this, which I read, which I thought was quite true. The elephant in the room is that Facebook knows that currently there is nowhere else to go. For media buyers who manage millions of dollars, whether it's millions of dollars or tens of thousands, we have to be on Facebook, and said the guy they were interviewing. The issue is that Facebook knows that, and they have no incentive to make changes. Okay, so they go on in this article to say that larger merchants, like that are spending hundreds of thousands a month, okay, they're not going to be as affected as much because they're brands. Okay, at that point there'll be definitely some form of brand, whatever that is. But for us, okay, that are smaller people, they're hitting $100 a day, $500 a day, $1K, $2K. You got to remember that to us, 1, 2, 5, 10K is considered big. But to a lot of actual proper brands that have been around 5-10 years, they hit 50, 100, 200K a day. So we're very small fish. And so we get the tail end of this even worse than they do, because they'll have email marketing, they'll have Google ads, they'll have Bing ads, they'll have Messenger, they'll have their organic Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth. You get the picture. So I highly recommend that you have a read of this. This does not apply to everyone, might I add, but this is something to be aware of. Okay, so that's my tip number one. Tip number two is Facebook is an engagement platform. Okay, so it's all about engagement. It's not like, let's say, Google, where it's just click-through rate and relevance score and keyword management. You need to moderate your comments. Now, for those who don't know, you can moderate your comments under your Facebook page settings, moderate comments. And I would recommend adding in words like eBay, Amazon, crap product drop shipping, overpriced, words that you see that are potentially common words, and it'll auto hide them because it helps increase your relevance score, and it also helps to increase your ROI subsequently. So Facebook actually take that into consideration. Now, I know that's a comment and they consider it, but the biggest, most important thing with that is that other customers don't see it, because, again, a lot of people do actually see the comment. People actually more likely to open something if they see it has thousands of comments than if it has no comments. And then they're going to look through it, and you'll always see it on these large posts that you're going to see a couple that are sort of more at the top, and you're going to see likes, loves, whatever, of people saying, oh my God, this is a great product, because that helps them, because that's legitimate. On Facebook, that's meant to be legitimate, because people are now acutely aware that people can fabricate reviews, for instance. Okay, so I highly recommend doing that. That's tip number two. I've already explained tip number three. Now, this is where I've said it many times, and I've always been an advocate for this, and I always will, regardless of the issues that you go through. You want to build a brand, okay? Build a brand. I've always had it in my mind since I started this that building a brand is the way to go. I'm building like a personal brand. I give you value, and in return, I'm building trust with you. It's the exact same, except in the context of my personal brand is an information related product, whereas an e-commerce store is a physical related product in most senses. So you want to build a brand, and it takes time. I just read an ad from Ezra Firestone that got marketed to me this morning, and he said most people think that it actually takes 6 months to build a brand, and even at times I had actually thought that too. But that is actually incorrect. He said it takes 6 months to start to build a brand, 6 months to get traction on the brand. The next 6 months after that is when you start expanding your brand, and it's around the 18 to 24 months that you've built a brand. Okay, so we're talking 18 to 24 months. And so he's saying that, he's been doing this for over 10 years, and many others have been doing it 5, 10 years, whatever. And it's taken them time. We've all gone through these really tough periods. It's been really tough for me. Really, really tough for me, because it's just very frustrating. Okay, but it's important that you build a brand. I watched a webinar from Maxwell Finn. Some of you may or may not know Maxwell Finn, but Maxwell Finn's a very well-known marketer. He is a co-owner in Unicorn something of Innovations, I think it's called, and He was saying that he sees that 2019 and beyond is all just about brands. That drop shipping stores are going to become tougher and tougher. And why is it going to become tougher and tougher? Mainly because profit margin is going to be less and less. We look at like what Donald Trump's doing with tariffs for e-packet, for shipping. It's going up. Even if it's only 50 cents, that's 50 cents times by 50 orders, so on and so forth. Various governments around the world are acutely aware of drop shipping and side hustles now. So they're cracking down on people not legally declaring their tax. Okay, and you will get audited, and if you do get audited, it is hell. People are so focused on the initial outlay of income, and I've spent $50 and I made $100. The product cost me $15, including shipping. Okay, I've made money. But once you do that over the course of a year and you hit whatever your country's thresholds are, then you take off 10%. You have to potentially look at charging GST here in Australia, for instance, or, sales tax or whatever on top of that. Okay, and that's going to decrease your conversions because people don't want to pay those taxes if they don't have to. And then you've got your income tax on top of it. And so, all of a sudden, hypothetically, in the same sense, that $35 could become, $20, $25. And then you have your VAs. Okay, and then you have your refunds, and then you have your chargebacks, and then exchanges. And so I like to work off a base of some form of figure to use, and all of a sudden that, let's say, $25 becomes $15, $20. Don't get me wrong, that's money in your pocket, but you can see how after all these expenses and all these changes, it's becoming really bad. And with the fact that Facebook is becoming so heavily saturated with marketers, and that's what leads me onto this. If you type in Google Trends drop shipping, we can see here, and if we look at 2004 to present, drop shipping has been around from what it finds as 2004, and we can see here that we can see that drop shipping, Shopify is a breakout, Shopify, Amazon drop shipping, AliExpress. We can have a look at all of these, but if we just have a look at the broad sense of the word drop shipping, okay, we can see whether it's Amazon, eBay, Magento, Shopify, it doesn't matter. We can see that it was around August 2016 when it really started to kick off. Now it's died down a little bit, but obviously we can see it's starting to go back up again. But we can see that it was around this point, these people that were doing it then had the golden age, because there was little competition, little problems. And you can see how now in the next just under 3 years, so much has changed. So many people have entered. As a result, Facebook ad costs have gone up. Your cost per click has inevitably gone up. Facebook have brought in the customer experience feedback. Okay, they're suspending a lot more accounts. Like if you go below one customer feedback score, your page will be shut down. Shopify, okay, as well, because most people are using Shopify. Okay, if we have a look here. Most people are using Shopify. So people using Shopify payments, people using Stripe, people using PayPal. They're doing a lot more audits, and they're holding funds. Okay, they're now holding your funds, and they're getting you to request documentation. And you can see how, in a similar sense, like this is when Shopify started kicking off, but it's around a similar time, again, when you can start to see when Shopify really kicked off due to drop shipping. partly due to drop shipping, sorry. And as a result, you can see Shopify is just going through the roof, and we can just see that it's just gone ballistic. Okay, it's gone from 132 to all the way up to its peak of 100, and it's dropped a bit. But we can see that it's a big thing because people are been watching YouTubers on it, and everything in between, and it's become this fad of becoming very wealthy very quick, that get rich quick type scheme. But it doesn't work that way. Okay, life is not that simple. And so with the Facebook, how this relates back to the Facebook ad apocalypse is it all ties into the same thing, is that it's all being locked down, and we all need to be acutely aware of this. Okay, and so one of the other tips that I have is run Google Ads. Okay, I have a couple of videos on it. It's admittedly, it's primarily in my course, Ecom Lifestyle University, which if you want to get it, there's a link down below. It's an entire module, a part of my entire course of nearly 90 videos. Google is still obviously saturated. It's the largest search engine platform in the world, but shopping, you can make sales, brand search, even if you're just running a brand search for remarketing, if you're running DSA ads, display product ads, whatever it is, I keep forgetting. Anyway, and you can get your people back to your store in a much cheaper sense. Please look at doing that. The amount of people that I see that are still not interested in Google simply because, oh no, Facebook is going to, within 24 hours, tell me if it's a winning product or not. But Google's going to take a week or something, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And they're like, oh, I don't want to do it. And, but due to other drop shippers and YouTubers and that, it is starting to trend up a bit. And that's good. People should be diversifying, and thank you to those people who have brought it to this world. So thank you for that. Another recommendation is, every dollar you want to try and spend on Facebook, please try and capture customer details. I use Wheelio just so I can capture their emails. I have it in my newsletter, so I can, newsletter sign up in my footer so I can capture emails. I want to get their messenger. It's not as powerful without the auto tick now, admittedly, but I try to. I use phone notifications for remarketing. Not as effective, but it costs me $20 a month, and it generates me like $500-600 in revenue. So why wouldn't I use it? And I could use it for marketing down the line as well. And that's how we mitigate it. We want to try and work off the basis that Facebook is our enemy. It's not our friend anymore. Okay, I want people to understand that Facebook is not our friend anymore. Facebook drop shipping. Let's see if that's one. I haven't actually looked at this. So look at that. Okay, so we can see that it's been around for a period of time. It's always fluctuated, and around the similar time again, okay, through the roof. So you can see that Shopify dropshipping and Facebook dropshipping went hand in hand. They pretty much went hand in hand. So because I imagine people started watching YouTube videos and seeing the strategies and various courses and so on and so forth, and to use Facebook ads, and so you can see that it's just gone through the roof ballistic. Okay, and so like you're seeing all these different strategies and everything where because everything's becoming so saturated on Facebook in the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and UK, the solution that a lot of people are doing is like, oh, I'll just target worldwide traffic. I mean, or just the European regions, and they forget about the issues with import taxes, for instance, higher chance of chargeback rates, and so on and so forth. That's the risk that we all take when we go into business. But my point is that the real goal here is you want to build a brand, and you want to keep all of these things in mind. Okay. Lastly, as well, I wanted to talk about, do not believe everything people have to say, including myself. I'm a very big advocate for always being on the side of caution. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. There's a lot I need to learn. I make a lot of mistakes. I've lost a lot of money myself. I've made millions of dollars in sales, and I'm very proud of that. That doesn't mean that I'm perfect. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, in the business world, money means everything. Okay, money is everything. That's the entire reason that we do this. Okay, yes, we all talk about the fact we love what we do. Like, I love what I do. I love getting sales. I love doing that, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, what we want it for is so that we can achieve money to live life in a free sense. That's the core crux of it, okay? So I don't want you to take everything that these people say as gospel. Like, my strategy will be different to 5 other YouTubers, and then theirs will be different to 5 others, and so forth and so forth. And we'll all say that, oh, this is the key to your success. You know, like, here's the key, and it's this, okay? And it'll work for one person and won't work for 99 other, okay? But they'll emphasize on that one person, of course, and 99 other. But the one thing that correlates that is that I honestly believe that you'll see everywhere, okay, is that everyone eventually says, build a brand. Okay, so what you need to do if you're watching all these other YouTubers and stuff in relation to the Facebook apocalypse and so on and so forth, watch it with a grain of salt, including myself. I welcome feedback. Watch it with a grain of salt and see correlations. Life is about correlations, isn't it? And you're going to see, like, I watch a number of them, and it's all around building a brand. Okay, if you find a viral product that does very well, it will die out. That's why I don't like one product source, because it will eventually die out. But if you build a brand around a certain niche, okay, and a certain, let's say, jewelry, and it's dogs jewelry, okay, there's a lot of different types of dog jewelry you can run rather than one specific piece. That one piece might be your main winner, but you'll find other winners as well. And you keep doing that, and you build people that trust you, respect you, and want to buy from you again. Not that you're always going to have to try and find new customers, but it really will help long term. Why I say that, more importantly, is that if we're already in 2019 and not even halfway through the year, pretty much halfway through the year, sorry, is that it's going to get worse for us. Okay, it's important to keep in mind, and I forgot to add this, average cost per purchase is now $10 to $15. So average cost per purchase now is on average $10 to $15. You can see why I don't really recommend selling $20 items. I would recommend probably actually looking at $30 minimum. Okay, now if you're doing it to, let's say, like European countries, which aren't as saturated yet, but I absolutely assure you, like anything, it will become very saturated, and then people are just going to expand out further. Yes, the idea of it is that there's an entire world of people and you can always make sales. But we're seeing that there's more YouTubers popping up all the time. We're seeing more gurus. You know, I don't proclaim myself to be some guru. I've got many faults. I just like to tell it as it is. And many other people proclaiming that this is easy. I just saw a post that someone linked to me saying that, like, these people in 3 months did over 70k revenue. And I mean, good on them. Like, many people do that anyway. But that from the screenshots they had, that they had spent $1,500 for over 70k. So they made, you know, like around 70 ROAS. Okay, don't believe those posts. I don't know why people, I know that people are at different stages, but understand that marketing is not that simple. They get plenty of value, but there's a lot of crap out there. Okay, with the Facebook ad apocalypse, this all relates to it as well. You will get caught up if you're someone that just looks at sports cars as to validate someone's validity. Then you're going to get screwed. If you look at someone's, that their home is their validity, you're going to get screwed. If you look at a jet, validity, exact same. All of this, just lifestyle at the beach, sports car, luxurious homes, mansions, so on and so forth. You're going to get caught up. Okay, now, let me tell you a little secret about with most YouTubers. Most of their money comes from mentoring and, more importantly, their course. You look at a lot of these other ones and they will come out of nowhere, whatever, and they'll build an audience, provide the same recycled crap out there, and they will then, people are like, wow, you're amazing, you're so much better than everyone else. They'll like, I revealed this product, or and so forth, and look, admittedly it works, good on them, but and then because the reality is e-commerce is not easy anymore. Like, I see people, I've seen large screenshots of people like, oh, I've made all this money with an average order value of $14. It's like, and it can work. However, it's very hard. Okay. And, trust me when I say that, like, it's, in my opinion, nearly impossible. I have actually physically seen it, and I know it does work, but it is nearly impossible. And I honestly believe in the next 12, 24 months, it's going to be actually impossible to sell items at that price. just unless you're doing influencer marketing. And that leads me on to my next point that I forgot to add here, is automated rules. Now, this is something that I've only been recently really hammering down on personally and spending a lot more time on. But automated rules, I think, is going to be one of the keys to the next step in Facebook ads. People haven't been using it enough. I've been doing it too manual myself. But we need to use automated rules with things like CBO campaigns, so that on the ad set level, we say that, like if it's spent $5 and it's got 1 click, kill the ad. If it's spent $5 and it's only got 2 clicks, kill the ad, because it's $2.50 cost per click. How are we meant to even scale that? It's not going to be scalable. If it gets a random sale, it's never going to be, it's not going to be able to scale it long term. You're going to kill it regardless. It's just got a sale. Okay. Automated rules are the key. And that is actually another element that I'm adding to my course as well. An entire section on automated rules, and then also a lot more on manual bidding and CBO, because I think that that's the future. This is how we have to understand. I wanted to go into a full discussion about this, how to understand and mitigate the Facebook ad apocalypse, because I think it's only going to get worse, in my opinion. From what I'm seeing, a lot of people, everyone associates that anything above 2 ROAS is profitable. And I don't know where people get that. Yes, in a lot of regards, it is. However, I've had clients and I've seen a lot of things where, you have to see a 3 ROAS, a 5 ROAS for it to be even profitable. It looks good on paper, but after, product expense and various things, then it actually needs to be a higher ROAS. And that's why don't look at all of these like that. Oh my God, they done 200,000 with 2.0 ROAS. Their break-even point might be 1.95, and then again, like they've 200,000, they've gotten VAs, they've gotten refunds, they've done chargebacks, they will have made mistakes. Then they're going to have their taxes, whether they have an LLC, a company, whatever, and all of a sudden, they've either lost money or that they break even and that they rely on their course or something. Okay. Now, lastly, this is a bit of a sidestep, but this is something actually very important to me that I've actually been thinking about talking about for a long period of time, truthfully speaking. Diversification outside of e-commerce, outside of YouTube, if you're a YouTuber, outside of anything digitally orientated towards us doing direct work for money back. One of the things I've never seen many people speak about investing in property and Forex. I see those are the 2 big ones, especially Forex, and I don't understand Forex. And Bitcoin. People speak about those 3, okay? And they speak about them a lot, and they all have their respective benefits. Everyone can become wealthy off any type of investment. But the one investment that I never see speaking about, now this is more to Australians, but it works for anyone around the world, is shares. The foundation of our entire society is based on the share market, isn't it? Like realistically, the share market is, like here in Australia, property price and all of that goes into the banks, and the banks are controlled by the shareholders and so on and so forth. And what you can do with shares is, I'm looking at investing my money into shares, like after all my taxes and expenses and so on and so forth. Putting that money into shares on average, and I was just having a look at it just last evening, in fact, for a dividend ROI. So if you're not familiar with dividends, basically that you invest money in them, and they're going to pay you out twice a year generally, a certain amount. And so here in Australia, we've got blue chip shares. It's just defined as blue chip, which are huge enterprise companies that are never going to really disappear. And so let's say, right, that you've got $100,000 and you put it into shares, okay? You put it into shares and it has a 7% dividend. That's annual. That means you get $7,000 a year. On top of the shares can go up or they can go down. If they go down, that doesn't mean you're not going to get less than 7,000 because it goes off by the units. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but let's say like $100,000, $7,000 a year. And then, $500,000 if you have all in shares in that same company, $50,000 a year that you did nothing for. That is 100% outside the realm of Facebook, outside the realm of Google, outside the realm of Shopify, Stripe, PayPal, everything that those companies can cripple you. And that will happen more and more in 2020 and beyond. And so for me, I'm really looking at long term, where I want to be, what I want to do. And I am investing my money as much as possible and changing mine so that I can earn money there, even if it's only $15 to $20 to $30,000 a year. That's $30,000 a year you did 100% nothing for. That's 100% your money. Okay, and I think to a lot of people that's a lot of money. Like to me, I can live off that. Okay, I can live off that because I live a very frugal lifestyle. And so this is just honestly something I've been speaking because of with the ad account issues, Google issues I've had so much, Shopify, I've had my Shopify payments on hold, Stripe on hold, PayPal on hold for no reason. Like I've had I think of 5,000 orders recently, 3 chargebacks or something like that. Just ridiculous, and a few refunds, of course. But people love the product and still holds. And it's like, I'm so over this. What I'm trying to say to you is that you should be looking really ahead. I honestly feel that dropshipping is going to never disappear, but I honestly feel that it's going to be too unaffordable and too unmanageable for people to be able to do long term in the future. A lot of people quit their jobs to do this, and good on them. Like, take that step. I left mine to do this too, but it's not easy. Okay. It's not easy. It's not an easy lifestyle. You go through many ups and many downs, and it's every day. And, frankly, between you and I'm a bit over it. I want consistency in all elements of my life. And if that means that I don't earn as much, then so be it. I guess I'm a bit different to most, where I don't have huge aspirations for traveling lavishly or buying a new car or large home and so on and so forth. I just want to be happy and have my time. Okay, so that's why I wanted to present this video. I hope you really did enjoy it. That is 100% a true story, 100% my real opinion on all of this, and I wanted to give it to you in a real important context. I'm not saying you should give up. You should never give up. You should always push for your dreams and goals. Nothing happens overnight, but you should keep this all in mind. Please always think long term, not short term. That is the number one problem that people have. It's important to acknowledge the short term, but always think of the long term. The long term will always win over the short term. Okay, guys? And that concludes today's video on the Facebook ad apocalypse, how you can manage it, how you can mitigate it. I hope it has been super helpful. Again, for those who don't know me, my name is Ricky Hayes. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit that notification bell, and comment down below. Crush it to go in the chance to win one of 2 15-minute coaching calls with myself, Ricky Hayes, once we hit 30 comments as well. As a side note as well, hit 7,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a very long path for me, but I'm very proud of it. Okay, guys, like, I'm going to keep providing as much content as possible for you all. I really absolutely love doing every part of this. I've gotten your feedback from the last video on things you want to see, like more Google ads, Facebook ads, so on and so forth. Comment down below again what videos you would like to see in the future. I am making a list. Okay, guys, so thank you so much as well. Again, for those who are interested, there's plenty of links down below for free stuff on cheat sheets and many other things that I recommend you dig your teeth into. Okay, guys, and again, I can't stress enough all of those points to really try and help you hammer home your business in 2019, 2020, and for the rest of your life. That's the most important thing. You are the most important person in your life. So go out there, get those sales, crush it, have a lovely day, take care, and goodbye.